Hi everyone, this is Greg from OneConnect. This video is a compilation of some of my previous videos from the past few months, focusing on online safety. I'll cover phishing, malware, internet navigation and lots more, so let's not waste time and just get straight into it. Online shopping is amazing, convenient, part of our daily lives. But with millions of websites out there, how do you know which ones are legitimate and which ones are just waiting to steal your money and your personal information? That's where we come in. In this video, we're going to arm you with the ultimate toolkit to spot a fake e-commerce website from a mile away. We'll show you simple, practical tips and tricks that even a beginner can use to shop safely and confidently online. No more falling for scams. By the end of this video, you'll be an expert at identifying those dodgy sites and keeping your hard-earned cash where it belongs, in your wallet. We'll cover everything from suspicious URLs to payment red flags. Let's dive in. Our first and perhaps most critical step, check the URL and domain name. This is often the biggest giveaway. Look up here in your browser's address bar. For a legitimate site, you'll see a claimed professional domain name, for example amazon.co.uk or tesco.com. It used to be that you'd always see an HTTPS and a padlock icon in the address bar, but for whatever reason nowadays you need to dig a little deeper. Click on the address bar, then click it again. You'll see this info. You can also click on this icon here, which will give you information about the site's security. Now this stuff means the site has an SSL certificate encrypting your data, and this is a good sign. And compare that to this. See how it's trying to mimic a well-known brand but with extra words, hyphens, a strange domain name like .xyz or .shop or .info? Huge red flag. They're trying to trick you. Always double check. Next, let's talk about the look and feel of the website. Legitimate businesses invest in professional web design. Fake sites, not so much. Look for things like low resolution images, inconsistent fonts, broken links, buttons that don't work. It often looks rushed and unprofessional. And pay close attention to the language. Poor grammar, misspellings, awkward phrasing throughout the site are classic signs of a scam. Big companies hire professional copywriters, scammers don't. If it looks cheap, it probably is, and it might be trying to make you cheap too. A legitimate business wants you to be able to reach them, so check for contact information. Look for a clear Contact Us page. Does it have a physical address, a working phone number, and a professional email address, not just a generic Gmail or Hotmail address? Fake sites often have no contact info at all, or maybe just a very vague form. If they do have an address, try doing a quick Google search. Does it actually exist? Is it a vacant lot or a random house? Scammers often use made up addresses or locations far removed from their supposed operations. Have you ever heard of that North Sentinel Island? It's this remote island in the Bay of Bengal, populated by this one tribe who have no contact with the outside world and it's strictly forbidden to travel to. Well, what I'm saying is, if you're buying an air fryer from there, maybe start asking questions. Scammers lure you in with ridiculously low prices on high demand items. While sales exist, be realistic about it. No reputable store is going to be selling the latest iPhone for 80% off, especially when it's a new release. Also, watch out for high pressure sales tactics. Only 2 left at this price, or sale ends in 10 minutes. These are common, but fake sites often use them excessively to rush you into a purchase without thinking. Take a deep breath. A legitimate deal will still be a good deal if you take a moment to verify the site. Also, if there's a deal ending in 10 minutes, we'll just check again in half an hour. If it's still ended in 10 minutes, you'll know it's pretty suspicious. And I'm not perfect. I've personally been fooled by fake websites before. Like a lot of people, I think the prices of football tops are completely ridiculous. And in 2010, I was a fan of the Germany football team. One of the only good things about that World Cup. And I like their home top. I saw it online for £10–20. It's too good to ignore. So I paid my money, and of course the shirt never arrived. But I was one of the lucky ones, at least it didn't bankrupt me after taking my card details. Cause see, back then we didn't have OneConnect. If you want personal help with this kind of thing, head over to the OneConnect website. If you're on the other side of the coin and you want to build a reputable website, well, we do that too. Discover more expert tips and in-depth tutorials on the website. Do you need help boosting your digital skills and growing your online business? Get in touch with our team for personalised support. Check out our website in the description below. This is where they aim to get your money. Be extremely cautious about payment methods. Legitimate sites offer secure payment options like major credit cards, PayPal, or trusted digital wallets. Look for clear logos and secure gateways. Fake sites often insist on unusual payment methods, direct bank transfers, wire transfers, cryptocurrency, gift cards. These are almost impossible to trace once the money is gone. Never, ever use these for an unknown seller. And another red flag. If during checkout you're suddenly redirected to a completely different, suspicious looking website to process the payment, major alarm bell. Always make sure the URL remains consistent and secure throughout your transaction. Finally, do a quick background check. Google the website name along with terms like reviews, scam, legitimacy. Often, other victims will have posted warnings. Check a trusted review site like Trustpilot. Somewhere like Reddit is also very good for real life experiences. Also check the shop's social media presence. Do they have active, engaging social media accounts with real followers and interactions? Or are they brand new with suspiciously few followers or very generic posts? A strong, legitimate brand usually has a consistent online presence. So, to recap our essential tips for spotting a fake e-commerce website. Number 1, check the URL. Look for HTTPS and a legitimate domain name. 2, check design and grammar. An unprofessional look and typos are huge red flags. 3, verify contact info. Legitimate businesses provide clear ways to reach them. 4, be wary of unbelievable prices. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. 5, stick to secure payment methods. Avoid wire transfers or gift cards for unknown sellers. And as a bonus point, Google reviews and socials. See what others are saying. Remember, a moment of caution can save you a lot of headache and money. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. There are plenty of legitimate deals out there, so don't let the scammers win. In this video, we'll tackle the 3 biggest hurdles: inefficient searching, confusing website layouts, and recognising safe, trustworthy sites. Get ready to cut through the digital noise and navigate the web with confidence. Our journey begins with the most important step: search like a pro. A great search starts with being specific. Don't type a whole sentence. Google doesn't really care about grammar or how a sentence is structured. Instead of, where can I buy the best running shoes for a marathon near me? Try, best marathon running shoes, Glasgow, or whatever city you live in. I know you wouldn't just go up to someone and say, best marathon running shoes, Glasgow? But Google isn't a real person, it's a tool. Be precise and the search engine will reward you. Master the quotation marks. This is a game changer. Put a phrase in quotation marks like fastest dog breed to tell the search engine you only want results that contain that exact phrase in that exact order. This will drastically cut down irrelevant results. Exclude words with the minus sign. Let's say you're interested in apples, but you don't care about laptops, phones or tablets. You're in this purely for the fruit. If you're searching for Apple, the fruit, but keep getting results for Apple, the company, simply add a minus sign. Apple minus computer, or minus phone, or minus iPad, things like that. The search engine will exclude any pages mentioning the unwanted word. Or if, like me, you love chicken soup but you hate mushrooms, search chicken soup minus mushrooms. And there you go, hundreds of delicious recipes. Search within a specific site. Looking for an article you saw on a news site? Type in your search term, then follow it with a colon and then your website. So search term, site.com. This is perfect for when your typical search just isn't cutting it. By using these simple characters, you stop wading through noise and get straight to the information you need. Once you click on a link, how do you know where to go? Most modern websites follow predictable design patterns, and I'm using predictable in a positive sense because understanding these makes navigation simple. The global navigation bar. This is usually at the very top of the page and includes the most important links like home, about us, products and services, contact. This is your primary map. The footer. Scroll all the way to the bottom. The footer is a goldmine for often used but secondary links like the privacy policy, terms of service, FAQs, sometimes even a sitemap for the whole site. The linkable logo. No matter where you are on the website, clicking on the logo in the top left corner will almost always take you back to the homepage. Think of it as your panic button. Breadcrumbs. Look just below the main header for a series of links separated by arrows, like home, products. These are called breadcrumbs, and they show you your exact location within the site's hierarchy, allowing you to quickly move back one step. Good website design prioritises clarity and consistency. If a site is well structured, you should be able to find what you need in just a few clicks. This is the most critical section, online security. How do you know if a site is legitimate, especially before you enter personal information or shop? We'll be using Google Chrome as an example here, as it's by far the most popular web browser. I did cover some of this in this video from a couple of weeks ago, but it's worth going over again, and while that video focused mainly on desktop computers, I'll show some footage from my phone here. Check for HTTPS and the padlock. Look at the website address in your browser bar. A secure, trustworthy site will always start with https://. The S stands for secure, and it'll display a padlock icon next to it. If you don't see the padlock, do not enter sensitive information. I say padlock, but Google updated their padlock icon a couple of years ago to this much less obvious looking security icon, but who am I to tell Google how to design websites? As of 2023, this is the padlock icon. From here you can click or tap on this icon and it will give you all the information you need regarding the site's security. Inspect the URL and domain name. Phishing sites often try to trick you with subtle misspellings. For example, a fake site might be amazon.com with a 0 instead of the O. Always double check the spelling before proceeding. Review the contact info and overall professionalism. Legit businesses will have an easily found About Us page, a privacy policy, and clear contact information, usually a phone number or physical address. Be wary of sites with glaring spelling errors, low resolution images, or excessive, aggressive pop-ups. Look for third-party reviews. If it's a shopping site, quickly search the company name followed by reviews or scam on Google or Trustpilot or Reddit. A reputable site will have many independent reviews. And if you want to go that extra mile, you can actually enable an HTTPS only mode. On your Google Chrome settings, go to Settings, Privacy and Security, and then select Always Use Secure Connections to enable this. But overall, your best security tool is your skepticism. If an author seems too good to be true, or a site just feels off, trust your gut and navigate away. Congratulations, you've now got all the tools you need. By adopting these few simple habits, from using the minus sign in your search bar to checking for HTTPS in the padlock, you instantly elevate your digital literacy and make the internet a much more efficient and safer place. Remember, the internet isn't a maze, it's a library. But now you know how to read the card catalogue, you understand the building map, and you can verify the authenticity of those books. You ready to put these tips into practice? Make your own chicken soup without mushrooms thanks to your newfound searching skills. No one likes viruses, do they? 1 minute you're roasting, then you're freezing, you need to stay inside, you can't breathe properly. In fact, I seem to remember there was a big one going around about 6 years ago and everyone freaked out. Well, it's not just people who can get viruses, our PCs, phones and tablets can too. While they won't make us unwell, they still have the potential to ruin lives, and a virus is a type of malware, which is what I'm talking about today. Malware, short for malicious software, is a broad, all-encompassing term for a lot of things. You might have heard terms like virus, worm, trojan, spyware, ransomware, the list goes on. All of these are different types of malware. If you're my age, if you're in your very, very late 30s, you probably have an idea in your head about what malware is. In the 90s and 2000s, malware was what you'd get from using that program like LimeWire to download some unreleased Limp Bizkit song. You'd have pop-ups everywhere, files would go missing, your PC would grind to a halt just from doing the simplest task like opening a word processor. But fast forward to today, and malware has gotten a bit more sophisticated and a bit more stealthy. If you think, back then the point of malware was, look at me, look how I've messed up your computer, and now it's kind of the opposite. Malware can lay dormant on your computer, waiting for the right time to strike, because the goal won't be to slow your computer down, it will be to take all your savings or your identity. So, how does your computer get infected? You might have visions of that clip in GoldenEye with the guy flipping his pen and he's furiously tapping away at his keyboard. It's not really like that. They're not trying to hack into your computer directly, they're trying to trick you into opening the door for them. So how do they do this? The number one method is phishing. This is a fake email or text that looks real, maybe from your bank or a delivery company, urging you to click on a link or open an attachment. That click is the ignition key for the malware. They also love fake updates on shady websites or cracked versions of expensive software. Remember, if something online seems too good to be true, it's probably malware. So how do we stop malware? Well, you know what they say, prevention is always better than the cure. First of all, relating to my last point about cracked versions of expensive software, never download these. I know it can be tempting, but the good thing about the world today compared to about 20 years ago is that there are real legitimate free alternatives to a lot of software. I don't really pay for any of my software on my PC, I don't need to. Instead of paying for Microsoft Word to write these scripts, I use Google Docs. Instead of Excel, I use Google Docs. To make this very video, I use DaVinci Resolve instead of Adobe Premiere or Apple Final Cut. If I wanted to add a flashy effect like this, I also use Fusion in the DaVinci Resolve tab instead of using Adobe After Effects. And instead of Photoshop, I use Affinity. There's lots of good, free, legal alternatives out there if you know where to look. Keep your computer updated. Hackers love old software because it has holes they already know how to exploit. When your phone or computer says an update is ready, don't hit remind me later, do it now. Updates patch these holes. Another thing that's improved since the 90s and 2000s is that you get pretty decent free antivirus software bundled in with your computer nowadays. Whether that's Windows Defender for PCs or X-Protect for Macs. Back then you had to pay for something like McAfee antivirus, and I remember that slowing down my computer almost as much as any potential virus it was protecting me from. Things have got a lot better since then. Keep those turned on. They'll automatically scan every few days. You can also perform a full, more thorough scan manually whenever you want. I'd recommend doing this every month or so. They can also help improve your computer's performance. If you want an extra bit of security, you can always go for a paid model too. I'm actually on my brother's plan for Bitdefender, and that's an excellent piece of software in my experience. Maybe you can find someone to split the cost with too. Be the firewall. What on earth do I mean by that? Just be skeptical. Hover over links, look for typos, look for suspicious looking email addresses. If an email creates a sense of urgency or panic, it's almost certainly a scam. Use 2FA. If we're talking about malware that steals your password, two-factor authentication means that even if malware does steal your password, the hacker can't get in without a second code sent to your phone. Back it up. If you get hit by ransomware, your best defence isn't paying the ransom, it's wiping your computer and restoring your files from a backup. You can use a cloud service like Google Drive or OneDrive to automatically save the stuff you can't bear to lose. Or if you're not too keen on the cloud services, I know it can sometimes be confusing trying to figure out which of your files are in the cloud and which are locally on the computer. Do it the old fashioned way. Drag and drop all your important files onto a big external hard drive. 1 terabyte is enough for most people, and you can get these for around £40 these days. It's a very worthwhile investment. Malware is a reality of the digital world, just like locking your front door is a reality of the physical world. Don't be scared, be prepared. By adopting these simple habits, updating, thinking before clicking, backing it up, you make yourself a difficult target, and hackers hate difficult targets. At this point, you might be panicking because you've got a message saying your bank account has been suspended, or maybe an email saying a £1,000 package is heading to an address that you don't recognise. Well, the panic you're feeling isn't an accident, we call it social engineering. Scammers don't just hack code these days, they hack you. They use fear, curiosity and urgency to bypass your common sense. Today, we're breaking the cycle. I'm going to show you how to spot a scam in seconds, how to verify any message, and one mindset shift that makes you unscammable. First, let's look at the red flag checklist. Scammers are getting better with AI, but they still leave breadcrumbs. The sender's DNA. Look at the from field. Not just the name, but the actual email address too. If it says Netflix support, but then the email is user882@gmail.com or support@netflix-security.co with a capital I instead of a lowercase, it's fake. The generic greeting. Large corporations know your name. If you see Dear Customer or Valued Member or just your email address used as a name, be on high alert. The grammar gap. Professional companies have teams of copywriters. If you see weird capitalisation, missing full stops, or phrases like kindly do the needful or action must be took, another red flag. Although it is less common nowadays with how easy it is to get AI to write a professional looking email for you. And the big one's probably the urgency trigger. Your account will be deleted in 4 days. Final notice, police are on their way.
Third notice? Final notice? Some guys are coming.
If a message makes you feel like you need to act before you think, almost certainly it's a scam. Alright, so maybe the email does look convincing. How do we verify it without clicking? The hover trick, or hover bother if you like rhyming. This is your best friend. On a desktop, hover your mouse over any button or link, but don't click it. Look at the bottom left corner of your browser. If you're not on a browser, it should appear just where your cursor is too. It'll show you the real destination. If the button says log into bank, but the link goes to somewhere like bit.ly/bunch of random numbers, stay away. Then there's the 2FA trap. Scammers might call you and say, I'm sending a code to your phone to verify your identity, read it back to me. Never do this. That code is the scammer trying to log into your account and you're essentially giving them the key. And use the official channel rule. If you get a scary text from the IRS or Amazon, close the app, open your browser, type in the official website yourself and log in there. If there is a real problem, you'll see a notification in your secure dashboard. Never use the link provided in the message. Of course, it's not just email anymore. Smishing, SMS phishing, is exploding. You can extend that to things like WhatsApp and Telegram too. Have you ever gotten a text about a post office parcel that couldn't be delivered? No, they want your credit card for a redelivery fee. And then there's vishing, voice phishing. Someone calls claiming to be from Microsoft support saying your computer has a virus. Look, no major tech company will ever cold call you to tell you your computer is broken. They don't have that kind of time. If they ask for remote access to your computer, hang up immediately. Now when you find a scam, don't just hit delete. Take these 3 steps to protect yourself and the community. Firstly, report it to the platform. In Gmail or Outlook, click the 3 dots and select Report Phishing. This helps their filters catch the scammer before they hit the next person's inbox. Then report to the authorities. In the US, go to ftc.gov. In the UK, forward scam text to 7726. And then, of course, block the sender and delete the thread. If you accidentally clicked a link, immediately change your passwords and run an antivirus scan. If you want more information about malware and scams, I actually did a video about this a couple of weeks ago. Here's your 30-second cheat sheet. Emotions are the enemy. If you feel rushed, slow down. Hover before you click. Verify the URL. Banks will not ask for PINs. They already have your info, they don't need to ask you for it. And when in doubt, throw it out.
Dawn, this is from head office.
I know.
How many times have I told you there's a special filing cabinet for things from head office?
You haven't told me.
It's called the waste paper basket. You're...
Knowledge though is your best firewall. You now have the tools to navigate the web with confidence. Don't let the scammers win by playing on your fears. Get in touch with our team for personalised support. Check our website in the description below. Learn in-demand skills like social media marketing, coding basics and more. Our digital products are full of educational and informative ebooks, website templates, design elements, books and more. Check below for more information. If this video helps you feel more secure, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more digital safety guides. I want to hear from you. Have you ever seen any of these urgent scams lately? Leave a comment below to warn the rest of your community. And I'll see you in the next one.